Yo, 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 what's the deal, Cowboy Nation? It's your boy Hoodie Kush back again. Got some new content for everybody. I just wanted to hop on impromptu, you know what I'm saying? And we could talk about last week's game, but I don't want to do that. I kind of want to talk about what we're getting ready to face, and that is the Giants. Got the Giants coming up Sunday. This is week 2. Oh man. Hmm. Looking at week 1 and how things are shaping up already. I mean, if you ask anybody else, uh, if you ask a homer, he'll probably tell you, "Oh man, we look like the best offense in the NFL or the best team in the." No, we're not. We're not the best offense in the NFL. We're not the best defense in the NFL. We don't have the best team in the NFL. But what we do have is a very good team, a very good sneaky team, to be honest. I mean, I'm pretty sure most of y'all watch the ESPNs of the worlds and all that, and you hear your Stephen A. Smith say, "Oh, I'm not going to lie, I was wrong. Uh, I'm surprised that they played very, very well. I want to give credit to this one and that one and this one." Well, that's because we're under a different regime. Not the Joneses. The Joneses are still here. Sorry, but we're under a different regime. We're under the shoddy regime, and being under the shoddy regime with the Clayton Adams, the Connor Rileys, the Eberfluses of the world, they're getting this team ready to play. They're getting this team ready to be competitive. They're trying to turn this team into a contender, and I'm all for it. I am all for it. I am here for it. I've been here for it for the past 43 years, 44 in October. I want to be here for it until I'm called to go home. But for the most part, man, I'm prepared, man. I'm prepared. I'm prepared for a pretty good season. If we get the same, if we get the same deck that we saw last week, coming out guns blazing. I'm saying? Everything working in tandem. I'm saying? The offensive line continuing to block the way that they were blocking. I mean, you can check out Lou's Take. Shout out to my man Lou's Takes. He puts together a very good breakdown. Um, Goes in depth with the blocking scheme that we've implemented this year. And remember, once you see it, that keep in mind it's the first game, which means it's not polished. And if that's not polished from what I've seen last week, I feel bad for any team we got to play later in the year after say week 6, because not everybody has a Jalen Carter. Not everybody has a Jordan Davis. You know what I'm saying? Make this clear. Not every team that was very good last year is going to be very good this year. You know what I'm saying? Keep in mind, it was only week 1. I mean, week one, September football, you're not going to see much polish in your teams. You're not. You're not going to see much polish. But it will tell you some things, good and bad, negative and positive. It's going to tell you some things. It's going to show you some things. It's definitely going to give you a view of what your team can be and will be. When I look at the Cowboys, I'm looking at the Cowboys like, all right, week 1, not that polished, not that disciplined, even though we were. Um, you can only go up from here. You can only go up from here, and moving on up to the Upper East Side works better than staying over there in the dirty ass West Side. So I'm optimistic of what this team can be. You know what I'm saying? So let's just get prepared for week 2. I mean, understand the Eagles game is still kind of fresh in our minds. You know what I'm saying? Um, if you want to talk about the stuff that we've seen, let's talk about it. Screw it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the good. One of the great things that I saw last week is, and I want to take it back even a little further. Um, when they put out the projections for top wide receiver duos, well, we held that top wide receiver, Super Bowl winning wide receiver duo, to what was that? 8, 13, no, 8, 16, 24 yards. 4 catches for 24 yards. That's not including Dallas Goedert with his 7 catches for 44. That's not including Saquon Barkley, who snagged a few catches for about 25 yards. You know what I'm saying? We did not have a bad game in the secondary. Granted, we were playing all zone. We were zoning it up. That was our scheme that day, just a zone, until we had to in the second half, manufacture pressure. You know what I'm saying? So the secondary doing their job the way that they do their job. If that's a constant this season, we are going to be very, very good. We are going to be very, very scary. Sadiqa Charles, how are you, darling? I'm glad to see you. Yeah, if our secondary under Eberflus's tutelage is that consistent as they were last week, a lot of teams are going to be in trouble, especially the ones who don't have top flight wide receivers, especially the ones who don't have a scrambling quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of scrambling quarterbacks, I'll take a step down to from the secondary to the linebackers. Now, all off season, we were looking at these guys. I've done some film takes on these guys, and from what I saw, it was promising. So we were touting. A lot of us in the content creation space, even in the media, were saying, "Oh well, we have a great linebacker crew. You know that will probably end up being our best unit." Well, in Thursday's game, that was our worst unit. Jack Sanborn, albeit he does not have the athleticism that Amaris Leofau has. I would never expect him to have that. But there were some good things that I've seen from him. I saw how he mirrored the movement of a puller and was able to hit the gap. For I think it was like a 1 or 2 yard gain for Saquon Barkley, and that's a step up. That's a step up from what we've seen last year, where there was no one hitting their gaps. And mind you, this is a gap-centric defense that we're playing. This is a gap-centric defense. Kenneth Murray looked off. Was it the fact that, no shade at all. He just had a kid over the offseason, so he wasn't really available. And then he didn't play in any preseason games. So that kind of knocked him back a peg or two, because again, no preseason, no training camp, and it knocked him down a peg. So he's not fully in it yet. But it's hard to make that excuse when Deron Bland also had a child and missed some training camp, and he was able to step in without an issue. Now, granted, we're running a zone heavy scheme in the secondary. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's got eyes on the QB, so it's a little easier to it's a lot easier to lock down receivers when you're forcing the quarterback to make a decision. And I like to think we made Jalen Hurts make some really big decisions. That's why he beat us with his legs. And that brings me to the edge room. In fact, the entire front four. The edge room left little to be desired in the first half because we were breaking contain. We were kind of hot dogging it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We were allowing the offensive line to dictate where we went instead of us dictating where the offensive line is going. You know what I'm saying? As far as the defense is concerned. So when now it's not all bad. It wasn't all bad. You got you got Marshawn Nealon, who is definitely making a second-year jump. He got his first sack of the season. You got Kenny Clark, new addition. Kenny Clark is as advertised. He is definitely an issue on that defensive line at the DT spot, at the one tech spot. He is definitely everything that's been advertised. It's very, very good. He pushes. He pushes. He can stop the run. He even was able to. He has some pass rush in him as well. So I think that fits right along with Eberflus, because he wants an attacking front. And then the combination of guys, how they did it. Right. At one point, you'll see Marshawn Nealon, Donovan Ezaraku at the edges, and Oso Digizua, Kenny Clark. Or you'll see James Houston, Sam Williams, and Solomon Thomas at the DT, and Jay Toia. That was part of the reason why we were able to limit Saquon Barkley. It's because we constantly have fresh legs. We have fresh legs, and that's something that we didn't really have leading up to this because most guys played literally the entire game, save one or two snaps. But for the most part, the rotation works. Now, will it translate next week? We'll see. I understand that the Giants have more of a porous offensive line, so it might be incumbent upon us to run with a NASCAR package. You know what I'm saying? Your Ezaraku, your James Houston, and then Solomon Thomas with Oso Digizua, just to start. And then, rotating from there. But I think it would be incumbent upon us to run with a NASCAR package, being so this offensive line is so porous. Okay. Tyrone Tracy has speed upon speed upon speed. Okay. Tyrone Tracy is not a world beater, but Tyrone Tracy can hurt you. You know what I'm saying? Granted, we held him and Devin Singletary to about 2.3 yards a carry last season, but it's a different year. Different year. The only constant, you know what I'm saying? Ferg and CD caught those. Listen, you ain't telling no lies. You ain't telling no lies. Not one lie have you spouted. Not one. If we probably would have, if Miles Sanders doesn't fumble, no, I'm glad that's how you feel because that's the actual truth. You know what I'm saying? That is the actual truth. Angry, what's goody, my guy? It's good to see you. But that's the actual truth, right? So if CD catches two out of the three balls that he dropped, the slant and yes indeed. What's going on, Dominique Pittman? How are you? If CD catches the slant and that post, my man, it may not have been a touchdown with the slant, but we would have been in a better position. Then you will probably see George Pickens, get that target that he desperately needs. If CD would have caught that post over Quinyon Mitchell, my man, he probably would have been tackled. Let's not make no bones about this. He would have been tackled, but that brings us closer and gives us an opportunity because there was still time on the clock and we could have ran the ball out because obviously they weren't stopping the run. You know what I'm saying? We got ran on by three guys. Okay. Will Shipley. What was that? 3 runs for 26 yards. We got gashed there. We got gashed there pretty good. But for the most part, kind of bottled up the run. They could not bottle up the run. The only reason why we had so many rushing yards is because Jalen Hurts. If we were able to get pressure on him early, then I think they don't score at least one of those touchdowns on the ground if we were able to bottle them up in the beginning. But unfortunately, that's not how the game went. And again, I can't stress this enough. It's week 1. It's week 1. Okay, so things are not going to be as polished as you want them to be. Things aren't going to be as crisp as you want them to be. Look, my theory on George Pickens and Maris Leofau playing the way that they played, that got spit on. No one did anything about it. But if you noticed, when we kicked the ball off, or I think it was us, no, when they kicked the ball off, Maris Leofau got his penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct. Maris Leofau had an axe to grind. All right, well, I can't take it out on Jalen Carter, but I could take it out on you, Cooper DeJean. George Pickens, same thing. I can't take it out on Jalen Carter, but I could take it out on you, Cooper DeJean. Now, granted, was it a dumb penalty for George Pickens? Yes, it was a dumb penalty. We were in position to score, and even that would have changed the game. But Like for those who say, oh, well, the team didn't even stick up for Dak, that's not true. Because if they didn't stick up for Dak, they would have let shit come through and he'd have got sacked 3 or 4 times. You know what I'm saying? If you look at Tyler Guyton literally putting the screws to the edge rusher coming in, and he slapped the hell out of him with that nasty left. That was for a reason. What was the one thing Shotty and Eberflus said that they wanted? Physicality and violence. Unfortunately, sometimes when you have physicality and violence, someone's going to end up getting a penalty. You have to be choosy of when you do it, but understand if you want physicality and violence, sometimes that violence can go a little too far. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, Guyton wasn't called for it, but he slapped holy hell out of my man. I think he rocked him. I think he rocked him pretty good. And it kind of changed everybody's view. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. You know what I mean? Like, so, I mean, I think this team is giving Shotty what he wants. I think Shotty is giving this team what they need. Look at the coaching staff. The coaching staff says it all. The coaching staff says it all. If you look, we didn't give up a sack. We had a lot of pressures. Yeah. There wasn't a quarterback in the league who's not going to get pressured. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who you are, what team you play for, what your offensive line is like. You can have Tristan Wirfs for all I care, with Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata. You can have them all. You're going to get pressured, period. But to hold a team to 0 sacks, granted, no Jalen Carter, but still, to hold a team to no sacks speaks volumes of your offensive line, speaks volumes of the discipline, speaks volumes of the coaching staff that's teaching these guys these things. And here's another one, something I don't hear anybody talking about. I was on Girls Talk, Boys Talk this morning, called in, and something that it's just been bugging me all weekend. The first thing I didn't hear about was pre-snap penalties. We didn't have any pre-snap one pre-snap penalty. That's it. And that was from, I think it was Tyler Smith. No, it was the 12 men on the field. That's it. Other than that, we didn't have any pre-snap penalties at all. If that's not growth, I don't know what is. I don't know what it is. That's discipline. That's discipline like a mofo. And that comes down to coaching. Now, could some other things be cleaned up? Of course. We're not perfect by any means, by any stretch of the imagination. We are not perfect. But things will need to be cleaned up, and I think we will clean them up. I think we've entered an era where Jerry Jones isn't the distraction that he once was, or at least as the media would think that he is. Mind you, it's only week 1. It's only week 1. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to give him too much credit, but it's only week 1. If I see this level of play, this level of discipline, I'm definitely looking forward to I'm looking forward to week 2, week 4. Now, actually, I'm more looking forward to week 3 because somebody had some crazy stuff to say to my guy CD. Because CD CD had a take, and he tried to avoid saying anything, so he didn't give anybody bulletin board material. He was just making an example. You know what I'm saying? And the guy on the other squad that we're going to be playing in week 3 has something to say about it. So he said, when we see them, it's going to be belt to ass. Okay. So Chicago, you'll be coming over here. We're going to Chicago. We'll be coming to see y'all in week 3. We'll be coming to see y'all before the snow hits the ground. I hope you have that same energy, belt to ass. You know what I'm saying? I already know CD on one. If my man is going to be the only one at practice just on the jugs machine because he feels some type of way about dropping 4 passes, I feel him. I understand. I understand completely. As far as week 4 is concerned, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, but I think it should be a good one, especially if this team continues on the trajectory that I think it's on. But back to those midgets, back to the Giants, man. I don't know what to expect from the Giants. I believe so. I believe so. Um, you know what? I am going to expound on that, Sadiqa. Is anyone surprised that CD got so many targets? I mean, I need to know. Is anybody really surprised that CD got the targets that he got? So, just like me, you guys feel like that was intentional. That was scripted. That was planned for CD to come out first game of the year and get as many targets to show his ass while limiting George Pickens. Because that's where I'm at with it. I don't think it's an accident that George Pickens didn't get first game with a familiar target. Yeah, true indeed. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities that first game it was said, hey, they know we're going to CD. They understand that we have George Pickens. I don't want to let too much of the cat out of the bag. Let's target CD, give George Pickens some play, you know what I'm saying? See how he rolls, see how the defense covers, you know what I'm saying? And if you noticed, the Eagles defense always shadowed coverage over to George Pickens. It's crazy. It's like, okay, so now y'all have George Pickens and CD. We're going to allow CD to try to beat us. I'm not going to allow you to allow both receivers to beat us. So I think it not only did the quarterback take what was given to him, because that's what a quarterback should do. You know what I'm saying? That's my point. That's my thing right there, Angry. I think what we saw Thursday was done on purpose as far as targets to your receivers. I think it was done on purpose. I honestly believe that. I remember when Shadi said there's going to be games where somebody might not get as many touches as the other. You know what I'm saying? Same thing in the running back room, but we're talking about our receivers. One week it might be George. One week it might be Cavante Turpin. One week it might be, you know what I mean, CD Lamb. CD's week was already last week. So now I key on CD week one. Y'all see all coverage to rolls over to you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. 100%. There were moments. There were definitely moments where he didn't take what was given to him. There were moments where he reverted back to, all right, I'm going to go to my most reliable target. And unfortunately, he wasn't reliable in those moments. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he could have went to Cavante Turpin. He could have definitely hit Cavante Turpin on the under 3 yards. He could have hit Javante Williams coming out of the backfield. 3 yards. You're right. 100%. 100%. But to still be able to make those throws in the spots where they were made, the least you can do is come down with the ball. So it's not all on CD. It's not all on Miles. It's not all on Dak. You know what I'm saying? Everybody shares some blame. It's not even all on the defense because the defense stepped it up. The defense came out in the second half with a plan. With a plan to pressure Jalen Squirts. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they did. I can't put it all on the defense. You know what I'm saying? It's on everyone. Everyone had a hand. Everyone, from coaches on down. Everybody had a hand. Jalen Squirts. Yes, indeed, including the coaches. Including the coaches. Because you still have the presence of mind to be like, hey, Dak, you didn't see that? All right, well, check this out. Take what the defense gives you. I understand that you want to win the game, but the best way to win the game, because there's time on the clock. You know what I'm saying? Understand situational football. And sometimes Dak falls into that. Oh, yeah. He's not perfect by any means. When people come at Dak Prescott and we get pissed off, it's not because we think Dak is perfect and this all worldly quarterback. No, Dak is not without fault. He is not without fault. But understand this, we're just the fans. We're not getting 300 plus guys coming at us. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to make a quick decision when all these guys are coming at us to rock our bells. You know what I'm saying? So what we may see, he may not. He's playing the game, you know. But you're 100% correct. If Dak would just take what the defense gives you, and that's it right there. I said this. I don't know if I said this in facts over feelings, but I remember telling you that I would not mind having 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 play drives. I don't mind that at all. As long as it manufactures points, I don't mind it at all. Keep their offense off the floor. Keep your defense off the floor. Let them rest it up. So that way, when they come in and the opposing team's offense thinks that they can just do whatever because they're rested, that no, it don't work that way. I want their defense to get tired and I want their offense to be smothered. What's going on, Dak Owens? How you, bro? It's good to see you. It's good to see you, man. Better late than never. Better late than never. I'm glad you're here. You know what I'm saying? Just expounding on some of the things we saw in the game while moving on, because I don't want to. It's sort of like the whole Michael Parsons thing. I don't want to dwell too long on it. You know what I'm saying? What happened happened. You know what I'm saying? We went in there with a wonderful game plan. We just didn't execute to the way that we should have to win the game. That's what that is. We didn't execute. So hopefully, when we go play the Giants or the midgets or the little people, to be PC, you know what I'm saying, we come out faring better. You know what I'm saying? Execution wise. You know, if you again spoke on the offensive line play. Offensive line play was phenomenal. Phenomenal. Did they have their shortcomings? Yes. Did some assignments get missed? Yes. Did our rookie get beat once or twice? Yes. Yes. Again, not perfect. But when you're playing as a unit, you're playing as a unit. And that's exactly what the offensive line did. They played as a unit. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it. Like again, go over to Lou's takes. He has a whole breakdown on the offensive line, you know, explaining the combo blocks, the duos, and all that. You know, offensive toughness of the defense. The Giants game is going to be 28 plus points for the Cowboys. I'm not going to say no because it's not like I haven't seen this offense go. Well, we're at home, so it's not like I haven't seen this offense terrorize the Giants. We have a lot. So I mean, why should this be any different? But let's keep in mind though, they do have a crazy defensive line, front seven. You know what I'm saying? They still do have Brian Burns. They still do have Kayvon Thibodeau. They still do have Bobby Okereke. They still do have Dexter Lawrence. They still do. And those guys are dogs. Like, let's not make no bones about this. Because if y'all remember just one short year ago, when we played the Giants the first time, it was a dogfight. It was a dogfight, mainly because we had rookies on the offensive line. Tyler Guyton was getting beat like a drum. It's a different year now. He's a year. He has a more of a year. He has a year of experience under his belt. You know what I'm saying? No, they weren't, and that's the thing. They weren't crazy playing Washington. It definitely has holes. Oh no. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, Angry. I was just spouting out names. If you notice, I didn't say anything about their secondary. You know what I'm saying? I am not going to sit here and act as if I'm worried about this team. I want our team to be worried about this team so they can go in playing with the discipline that they just left with. Maybe even more so. This is a divisional game. And by it being a divisional game, it could be a dogfight. Now, they played Washington. And Angry, if you watch the game, yeah, they were getting huge gaps. Yeah, exactly. Definitely. It should be a showcase for the Cowboys. It should be. It should be. But let's not forget what happened in Arizona. It should have been a showcase. Let's not forget what happened in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Let's not forget these things. Now, granted, this is a new regime. I'm 100% with you. This is a new regime. So it should be a showcase of the talent that we have. It should be a showcase of how much we've picked up on Eberflus's defense and Shotty and Clayton Adams' offense. It should be. It should be 100%. It should be. And like I said, if our offensive line continues on the same trajectory that I think we're going to be in, it should be an easy game. I don't want them thinking that it's going to be an easy game. We could think that all the live long day. You know what I'm saying? We're the content creators. You know what I'm saying? We look at the game, we look at the game and we study these guys and we understand their strengths, we understand their weaknesses. But once those lights come on, and once that football hits I understand that. I understand that this is the Giants. But I remember at one point when the Giants were so trash, they still beat the Eagles 24-6. They got bad, and the Eagles were not bad. In fact, I think that was the 23 year. They were just coming off the Super Bowl. I get it. I get it. And I understand why you're saying that because this isn't week one. This isn't week one. We've already implemented the certain things that we wanted to implement, and we've seen the things that we do well. We've seen what they do bad. So of course we're going to exploit that to the best of our ability. But also remember, they can see some of the things that we did bad and attempt to exploit that too. Now, do I think that we're going to get out of this game without a sack given up? I hope so. I fucking hope so. Because then that shows me that this is for real. That shows me that this offensive line really took in the information and are implementing it. But at the same time, I have to keep it realistic. Dexter Lawrence is a fucking monster. Dexter Lawrence is a monster. And right, that right there. That right there. Now, looking at last week's game was a tale of two halves, right? First half, we weren't oh hell yeah, we can contain and we weren't contained heavy. We again, most of the guys were hot dogging it last week, right? So in the second half, we turned it up. Then the contain started happening. We did a great job in the first half limiting limiting Saquon Barkley. Limiting. In the second half, we stopped him. That's the difference. In the second half, we stopped him. Even for that little stretch before the lightning break, we even stopped Jalen Squirts. We even stopped him from running around on us. Remember, we forced him to punt 2 or 3 times. True, for sure, for sure. I would love that. I mean, they don't need him. Like they don't need him. They don't need Okereke. They don't even need Thibodeau. Y'all can just bring him on over. I need somebody to get pressure without it being manufactured. But the chances of that happening, I don't, well, I mean, shit, we traded off Micah, so anything's possible at this point. But yeah, man, I mean, oh hell yeah, hell yeah, I think you can. Shit, I don't even think it'll take a first. I want to be honest with you. I don't even think it'll take a first. It'll probably be a second. Probably be a second rounder. You know what I'm saying? But I understand the player that Dexter Lawrence is. So it might be a first. They might have to like, no, just give me a first, bro. You can have him. I would love that. Him and Clark to get come on. Come on. Come on. Then you can just run the other DTs just on the edges. Like, yeah, come on. Come on. Then I'll be saying, Jalen Carter, who? Jordan Davis, who? Like, I get it. But still, let's keep it realistic. Even though we understand that the Giants are milk, we understand that the Giants are just complete dog water. We still have to keep in mind this is a divisional game and anything can happen. Who knows? That little screaming match Malik Neighbors and Dayball had last week might knock something into their heads like, oh shit, this is for real. We gotta start moving, and then we get beat by 1 point. Like anything could happen. Do I think that we're gonna lose to the Giants? No, I don't think we will, but the thing is we can't. I don't want to go 0-2 in the division. We already lost to the Eagles by a smidgen. We can't lose to the Giants. So this game, honestly, is a must win. I don't want to. I don't want to lose 2 games within the division. I don't. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Because who's to say later on in the year something unfortunate happens and we end up losing out to the division? I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? I believe at this point, at this juncture, we are a fringe playoff team just because it's the beginning of the year. I think we're better than that, but optics say that we're a fringe playoff team. All I really wanted was for us to come in this season and be better than we were last season. You know what I'm saying? And if that happens, I'm cool with it. But knowing that we have Dak healthy and he's moving around like nothing happened last season. The run game is actually working. We'll see if that continues and gets better this week coming. Knowing that you have George Pickens to rely on, knowing that you have Fergie to rely on, hopefully if he catches the ball, knowing that you still have Jadon Blue in your back pocket, Ryan Flournoy in your back pocket. You haven't used Turpin to his full capacity yet. Again, week 1, you weren't going to see much. I like the way Shadi is doing this. He's slowly bringing in subtle things to make a defense worry. Oh, of course. Oh, they will. They will. I mean, there's some dude, you know it like I know it, Angry. There's some dudes out there who say Dak just quit on the team. Like, no, but they're definitely gonna downplay it. They're gonna undersell it. You know what I'm saying? Like they're definitely gonna do that. Unfortunately. I mean, shit. When I heard Stephen A, like I really don't like watching that shit, but sometimes it comes across my phone and you're like, you know what, fuck it, let's watch it. So I watched one of those takes from First Take, and they hear and like he was he was praising him, but he was insulting him at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh well, I mean, what other choice does he have? He has to look better. Like I know he has to look better, but for a dude coming off an injury of that severity, he looks damn good. Like, yeah, Dak played really good. And then 2 minutes later, Dak played really good that night. The Colin Cowherds. We know how Colin Cowherd do. You know what I mean? Colin Cowherd. Yeah. Yeah, that guy. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboys are shockingly better than I thought. I owe these guys in the pot. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And it's not just the Cowboys players. It's one thing when you have good Jimmies and Joes. But if those good Jimmies and Joes, Cowherd was spitting, yeah, he was. He was spitting just a little bit. It was, but no matter how many Jimmies and Joes you have, if you don't have the good X's and O's to go with that, you're not going to be a good team. You're not. And that's one thing I'm fortunate to finally see over the past, what, say 15, 20 years. You know what I'm saying? The last time I would say Wade Phillips, because Wade Phillips wasn't bad, but Wade Phillips did better than most. I mean, Bill Parcells, definitely not Campo. You know what I'm saying? Not even Carrot Top, Jason Garrett. Yeah, no. So, I mean, this is probably hands down the best coaching staff we've had in a very long time. And the fact that some of these guys with their deficiencies on the offensive line are are showing that coaching that they're getting as opposed from last year is really sticking. Like, it's beautiful. I'm loving it. And I want it to continue. I want it to continue to roll. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, when it comes to this Giants game, I'll be honest with you. First thing I said was, Jesus Christ, like they just got smoked by Washington, and Washington looks not good. All right, so we should definitely roll over them, but I also have to keep it realistic. Terrence Steele wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best. Terrence still gets beat, but it's been minimized with the coaching. So, am I going to see a lot from Abdul Carter? Probably not. Or, I mean, this is a big test for Tyler Booker going up against Dexter Lawrence. You know what I'm saying? I'm, I'm pretty sure they're gonna scheme a lot of combos and duo blocks, for that. But for the most part, it's gonna be Tyler Booker's night. It's going or day because we played him at one, but it's gonna be Tyler Booker's day. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be his day. Let's see how he handles it. Tyler Guyton, he's gonna be seeing Brian Burns again. Does he want retribution? You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. I believe the same thing. It'll be Daniels improvising. Now the question is, when we go to see Jaden Daniels, do we come out with our second half Eagle scheme defensively? That's the question. Do we come out? Do we start fast? Do we start with just pressure, pressure, pressure? Now I understand this kid Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. He had a big game last week. Granted, it was the Giants, but he had a big game last week. Um, I'm not I'm not completely floored with these guys. Like, I don't think I don't think we're gonna have that much of a problem like the Giants did. You know what I'm saying? Oh Lord, I'm sitting here going through it. I have to use the bathroom extremely bad. And I hate to cut off, but I think that's what's gonna have to happen. Sounds like I got work to do in about 10 minutes. But I just wanted to jump on with y'all, man. Check the temperature of the room, check the temperature of Cowboys Nation, man. I appreciate y'all being with me, man. Um, shit, I might have to come back and do this again, unless Angry, you trying to hop on something. You guys doing facts over feelings. Hopefully, I can get on without an Eagles fan chiming in every second. Uh, yes, indeed, yes, indeed. So I will get with y'all later. You heard, Angry. We will talk, sir. With that being said, it's your boy Hoodie Kush from the Basement Boys. Thanks for being here with me. I'll get with y'all later. Whew, Lord.